Hi children, come we will see the chapter 10, okay, chapter 10, motion and measurement of distances, motion and measurement of distances. Come we will see this chapter. There was a general discussion among the children in Paheli and Bujo's class about the places they had visited during the summer vacations. Someone had gone to their native village by a train, then a bus and finally a bullock cart. One student had travelled by an aeroplane. Another spent many days of his holidays going on fishing trips in his uncle's boat. The teacher then asked them to read newspaper articles that mentioned about small wheeled vehicles that moved on the soil of Mars and conducted experiments. These vehicles were taken by spacecraft all the way to Mars. Meanwhile, Paheli had been reading stories about ancient India and wanted to know how people travelled from one place to another in earlier times. Understood children? So, these are all about what? The mode of transportation. How the children through what? How the children travel from one place to another. Okay. What type of transportation they have used. Okay. So, they were talking about the transportation. Okay. How by which vehicle they were to the their places. Okay. That is the thing about. Okay. Understood children? Come we will see about that. What are all the mode of transportation and about the story of transport that we will see. See, long ago people did not have any means of transport. They used to move only on foot and carry goods on their back. Later on they began to use animals for transportation. They began to use animals like bullocks, horses, donkeys. Okay. So, they use animals to for transportation. For transport through water, routes, boats, that means what? For transport through water routes, boats were used from ancient times. To begin with boats were simple logs of wood in which a hollow cavity could be made. Okay. In ancient days, boats were of simple logs. It is a log, it has a hollow cavity inside it. Okay. It is a simple log of wood, okay, in which a hollow cavity could be made, so that a person can sit in it and can Understood? And this is used as a This was used as a boat. Okay. Later, people learned to put together different pieces of wood and give shapes to the boats. Okay. Later, people put together different pieces of using so many pieces of wood, they give shapes to the boats. These shapes limited the shapes of the animals living in water. Okay. See, if you take a boat, it will be broad in the middle and it will be very thin in the at the boat ends. That is nothing but we know now. It is a streamlined shape. What it is called? Streamlined shape. That we know now. The fish is having streamlined shape. So, the shapes of the boats imitated the shapes of the animals living in water. Okay, imitated the shape of the boats. See, invention of the wheel made a great change in modes of transport. The design of the wheel was improved over thousands of years. Animals were used to pull carts that moved on wheels. Until the beginning of the 19th century, people still depended on animals, boats and ships to transport them from place to place. The invention of steam engine led to the development of new means of transport. Railroads were made of steam engine driven water, driven carriages and wagons. Okay. So, the railroads were made of water, steam engine, okay, driven carriages and wagons. Understood, children? See children, see the pictures, these are all the types what means of some means of transportation. See, bus is there, train is there, cycle is there, okay, bicycle, bullock cart is there, ship is there, okay, and what, aeroplane is there. Okay. So, these are some means of transportation. Okay. Later, automobiles such as motor cars, trucks and buses were invented. Okay. Motorized boats and ships were used as means of transport on water. Okay. With the help of the what? With the help of motors. Motors were fixed in the boats and ships. So, motorized boats and ships were used as a means of transport on water. The early years of 1900 saw the development of aeroplanes. These were later improved to carry passengers and goods. Electric trains, monorail, supersonic aeroplanes and spacecraft are some of the contributions of 20th century. Okay. In 20th century, what they invented? What? Monorail, supersonic aeroplanes, electric trains. Okay. Understood, children? So, by the means of these type of transportation, people travel from one place to another place easily. Okay. Understood? Come. How did people know how far they have travelled? See, how they know how far they travelled? For that we need what? Measurement. Okay. Come, we will see about the measurements. Okay. So, how will you know whether you can walk all the way to your school or whether you will need to take a bus or a rickshaw to reach your school? Whether it is nearby or far away, whether by walk you can reach the school or by auto or a rickshaw, what bus you should take to go to school. When you need to purchase something, is it possible for you to walk to the market? How will you know the answers to these questions? It is often important to know how far a place is so that we can have an idea how we are going to reach that place. Okay. We should have an idea whether it is nearby or far away. Okay. So that we can we can select the mode of transportation, whether we should walk or take a bus or a train or a ship or an aeroplane or even a spacecraft. Okay. Sometimes there are objects whose length or width we need to know. Even sometimes for some other purposes we need to know the length and width of the object. Okay. For example, in Peheli's and Bujo's classroom there are large desks which are to be shared by two students. Okay. Peheli and Bujo share one desk, but frequently end up objecting that the other is using a larger share of the desk. Okay. So, what happened? That will be fight? No. What happened? They will fight. See, you are taking too much of space in my desk, in the desk. You are taking too much of space. Leave some space for me also. Like that they they will fight. No. So, on the teacher's suggestion, teacher gave one suggestion. They decided to measure the length of the desk so that they can divide the desk into half and they can sit correctly. Okay. And make a mark exactly in the middle of it and draw a line to separate the two halves of the desk. So, both Peheli and Bujo are very fond of playing gilli danda, okay, with their friends. What? They were very fond of playing what? Gilli danda. That you know, no? That play. Yeah, Bujo brought a set of gilli. They were having gilli and danda with them. Okay. Here is what? How they try to measure the length of the desk using the danda and the gilli. Okay. The desk seems to be having a length equal to 2 danda lengths and 2 lengths of the gilli. With the use of that gilli and danda, they measure the length of the desk. Drawing a line in the middle of the desk leaves each of them happy with a half of the desk equal to danda and a gilli in length. Okay. So, one half is 1 gilli and 1 danda. Okay. 1 gilli, 1 danda. So they divided the table into 2 halves. So, now they were happy. Okay. After a few days, the marked line gets wiped off. Pooja now has a new set of gilli and danda and he lost his old. Here is how the length of the disc seems to measure using the gilli danda. See here, with the use of the gilli and danda, they measured the length. Okay, understood? Now, when measured with the new set of gilli and danda, the disc length seems to be about 2 danda lengths and 1 gilli length with a small length still left out. Okay, this is less than 1 gilli length now. So, see, if we measure with the new set of gilli danda, the measurement differs. So, what would you suggest Paheli and Bujo to do to measure the length of the whole disc? So, we need something to measure all the time. If we measure with that, the measurement should come correctly. So, what to do? So, can they use a cricket wicket and bails to measure the length, or do you think that this might create a similar problem? Yeah, this will also create some similar problem. Okay, no, okay. So, one thing they could do is to take small length of string and mark 2 points on it. This will be a string length. Okay, they can measure the width of the disc in string lengths. How can they use the string to measure distances? Less than the length of a string. See, if it is less than the length of the string, then it is okay. We can measure the length of the table using the string. So, if the distance is greater than the length of the string, what we should do? They can fold the string and mark it into 1 by 2, 1 by 4 and 1 by 8 string lengths. Now, perhaps Paheli and Bujo can measure the exact length of the disc using the string. Okay. So, you would say that they should use the scale in their geometry box and solve their problem. Yes, of course, but it is Bujo has been reading about the way people used to measure distances. See here, Bujo is measuring the table using the string. See, if it is the table, this for measuring the table, it is okay. If the length is greater than the string, what we should do? It will be difficult to measure with the string, no. So, Bujo has been reading about the way people used to measure distances. Before such standard scales were made, and he has been trying to follow different methods of measuring distances. There are so many occasions when we come across a need to measure lengths and distances. Okay, we need to measure the length and distances in so many occasions. The tailor needs to measure the length of the cloth to know if it is enough to stitch a kurta. Okay. A carpenter needs to measure the height and width of the cupboard to know how much wood he would need to make its door. The farmer needs to know the length of and breadth of or the area of his land to know how much seed he can sow and how much water would be needed for his crops. Okay. So, for all these things measurement is very important. Okay. Suppose you are asked how tall you are, you want to tell the length of your straight line from the top of your head to the heel of your feet, no. So, for that also measurement we need. So, how long is this room, how wide is this desk, how far is it from Delhi to Lucknow, how far is the moon from the earth. All these questions have one thing in common, they all concern distance between two places. The two places may be close enough like the two ends of a table, or they may be far apart like Jammu and Kanyakumari. Okay. So, come we will do how to measure the things. Okay, how to measure the things. So, for all these things we need measurement. Okay. Come we will see about the measurements, children. See, using your foot as a, come to next page, unit of length. Your foot is 1 unit of length. Measure the length and breadth of the classroom. Okay, you can measure the length and breadth of the classroom. But it is possible that while measuring these, you may find some part remains to be measured as it is smaller than your foot. Okay. See, if you measure using your foot, see at the final, there won't be a full foot length. Okay. There will be some part left as the which is smaller than the foot. Okay. That means it is possible that while measuring these, you may find some part remains to be measured as it is smaller than your foot. Use a string to measure the length of a part of your foot as you did before. Okay. Come we will see that. But if you measure with your foot, it may different for different children. You will what? Different length you will get, no children, because all are not having same foot size. No. See, shoe size, if you take your shoe size, all your shoe size are the same. No. So, all the what of shoe sizes of different children are different. No, of even the same age children, the sizes will be different. Okay. So that we can't able to measure the length of, so the length, the measurement of the what? The length and width of the room will be different from different student. No. Okay. So, we can't able to measure it. Okay. Measuring length and breadth of the classroom by using the foot, by taking it as a 1 unit length, we can't able to, the same measurement won't come for all the children. Understood? See, come, we will use one more thing. See here, use your handspan as a unit to measure the width of a table or a desk in the classroom. Use a handspan. Okay. Handspan is the nothing but the distance between the what? Small finger and the tip of the small finger and the tip of the thumb. Okay. By spreading is the what? Hand, spreading your hand like this. See, if you spread it, the distance, maximum spread is maximum, the distance between the what? Tip of the small finger and the tip of the thumb is called hand span. What? Hand span. Understood, children? See, you can measure like this. I will show you. See, if you keep it and if you measure like this is the hand span. Okay. The distance between the tip of the small finger and the tip of the thumb. Okay. That is nothing but the hand span. Okay. So, if you measure the width of the table using hand span, here also the length will be different for different student, because each will have different size, lengths. Hand span will be different for different people, understood, different student. Okay. Here too, you may find that you need string length equal to a hand span and then fractions of the string length to make the measurement. Here also what? You can only use the string length only. Okay. So, we see that measurement means the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. Okay. That means what? The comparison of measurement means the comparison of some unknown quantity with known quantity. This This known fixed quantity is called a unit. What it is called? Unit. Okay. What is measurement? Measurement means the comparison of an unknown quantity with some known quantity. Okay. The result of a measurement is expressed in two parts. One part is a number, the other part is the unit of the measurement. Okay. One part is the what? Number, and the other part is the unit of the measurement. Okay. Come, we will see that. And you can tell, if you measure the length of the room by your foot, means you can tell it is 12 foot length. That means 12 is the number and foot length is the unit. Okay. 12 foot length. Understood? 12 lengths of your foot, you can tell like that. So, what? 12 is the number and what? Foot length is the unit. Okay. And now what we saw, the measurement will be, if you take a foot length or hand span, that the measurement will be different for person to person. No, person depends on their foot length and the hand span. So, we need what? Some standard units of measurement are needed. Okay. That measurement should not change from person to person. That type of standard measurement we want. Okay. That we will see here. What are all the standard measurement? What? Standard units of measurement. Okay. Understood, children? That we will see in our next video. Standard, what are all the standard unit that may not change for person to person. Okay.